The Night Witch is a metroidvania mixed with bullet hell, developed by Sugar Mega Team and published by Team 17, in which its gameplay factor differentiates it from other games, since we can fly, shoot and use magic to face enemies. And explore this beautiful world, in addition to a captivating plot and narrative. At the beginning, we are introduced to the tutorial and an explanation of the plot. After the tutorial, we control the young little witch Rayne, an aspiring night witch who has great potential and an infectious charisma. Right away we already know that the story is rich in detail and we discover how challenging the game will be. During combats, there are many enemies and shots on the screen, you have to be very agile and pay attention not to get hit. There were many times when I didn't even know what was going on with so much going on. But I don't consider this a problem, as this is part of one of the genres of the game. The Night Witch was created by a team of experienced developers, responsible for famous titles like Rayne, Moonlighter and Plants vs. Zombies. 14 years ago, the world was under the influence of the Daigadai family. At a certain point, the planet's resources became scarce and the Daigadai did unspeakable things to the planet's ecosystem to maintain their way of life. However, the children of Gaia emerged to prevent the worst from happening to nature, and people came to support them. But that wasn't enough against the family's technology. Until the Night Witches came along. They had the ability to fly, strength and magic. Their powers came from people's trust and gratitude, and the more they believed, the stronger they became. Only they could defeat the Daigadai family's tyranny. After an epic battle, the witches won the war and the survivors were forced to live underground, as the surface was uninhabitable. 14 years of peace, until one day it ends and the population is attacked. Despite being inexperienced, Rayne must venture out to save the world, where many twists and turns take place. What is expected from a metroidvania is that the game has the most varied scenarios possible so as not to get repetitive, since games of this genre consist of exploring the map many times. Fortunately the Night Witch does this masterfully. Here, the world is fantastic and fantasy, full of fairies and diverse creatures from pop culture, such as fairies, skeletons, elves, witches, goblins, etc. There are several secret areas where an optional boss hides and important items to collect, as well as collectibles that serve to improve shots or mana, or improve armor. It is possible to access the world map, which shows us the region we are in, the objective and other points of interest. Scenario coloring contributes to the game becoming addictive and enchanting. The colors are vivid and pleasant, as well as its lighting. The level of detail in the environment and during combat makes it more immersive. Due to the young witch being able to fly, this opens up a range of possibilities, being able to come and go in any direction. In addition to flying, you can shoot and use spells. The shot is infinite and can be used using the crosshairs, with the right analog stick, to hit the target, or shoot the intuitive way, which consists of direct shots at nearby enemies. However, this type of shot is the weakest. In addition to its differentiated and fun gameplay, the game has a certain high degree of difficulty. In the beginning, we only have 3 health hearts and each heart represents an attack that we can receive. But this will be improved over time as you advance in the story. If you receive more than 3 attacks the protagonist dies and we have to go back from the checkpoint, and all the enemies will appear again. Skills are represented by cards. They are very varied skills, from short-range attacks to large areas, and much more. To use the skills it is necessary to have a certain amount of mana for these spells to be spent. The stronger the spell, the greater the amount of mana required. Mana is obtained by defeating enemies or going to the celestial altar, where you can recover mana, train, meditate and think. Rayne tells you what to do. There are some characters that make improvements to Rayne, especially the necrobakers. These characters are interesting. They are baker skeletons, but for some reason they are excellent blacksmiths. They ask to obtain in-game collectibles like Armor Magazine to discover new armor recipes. Enemies drop shards upon death that serve as a bargaining chip to buy armor and spell improvements. The game has a friendship system called Link. In the game's story, witches need people's trust and gratitude to get stronger. The Link's level increases when saving people and helping them, and with each additional level it is possible to make a knight or mage improvement, shooting damage or magic damage. The game provides some tricks in the pause menu, which are cheats to facilitate the game. But when activating them, it will not be possible to obtain trophies/achievements. The songs are very relaxing and perfectly match the theme of the Night Witch universe. They are instrumental sounds that refer to something magical and beautiful. I confess that, many times, I left the control aside to enjoy the soundtrack. Unfortunately, the characters are not voiced, all dialogues are just texts, but they have a generous dose of humor and well-crafted dialogues. The game ran super well on my console and I had no problems or bugs that hindered my experience. Conclusion. The Night Witch is a game that lives up to its genre, Metroidvania. As a Castlevania fan, I felt comfortable playing it. The game is a lot of fun and its exploration factor is exciting, its gameplay is agile and pleasant, and the graphics are stunningly beautiful. For lovers of 2D Metroidvania games and more challenging difficulties, this game will surely provide many hours of fun. Rating. Graphics, 10. Fun, 10. Story, 10. Gameplay, 9. Sound, 10. Performance and optimization, 10. Final grade, 9.8.